right, and good morning to you. Many thanks for staying with us. This is hashtag Y in the morning. My good name is Brian Sankwa. Now, in this conversation, we're going to delve into some of the tech trends to look out for if you're a person in the entrepreneurship space, an SME, a startup. What are you staring at as 2026 touches best right here with us? Because the digital space in Kenya continues to experience tremendous growth, and thus there's need as well for upskilling and businesses to adopt. And also, as a business, what are some of those tools that you need to infuse in your operations so that you continue to scale, expand, get more customers, and establish a base that will be there for the long run? And that's the conversation we are delving into. And joining me is Moses Were. He's a digital marketing trainer, and plus a lot he does. Karibu sana, great to have you, Moses, once again.
Thank you for hosting me once again, Mr. Brian. My name is Were Moses, and it's a pleasure to be here for us to have this conversation on technological advancements, particularly with focus on businesses and people who drive the workforce today.
Absolutely.
When we look at technology and the various advancements that have happened, they are now just being held in the boardrooms, and we can see even the government doing some advancements, meaning that the businesses also have to adapt. But how do we stay on top of the game with these advancements? Back to you, and I'm glad to be part of this conversation today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest part of any business or any operation is the relationship they establish with maybe their target audience, but more so specifically with their consumers. Now, if you are to infuse in tech, and from maybe some of the forums and the training sessions and the conversations you've been in, maybe where does it begin for an entity that's just starting up to set base in its operations?
Thank you for highlighting the aspect of understanding the consumer behavior. And now with technology, and we have also heard about the conversation around a tool known as AI. So this one, we have things like ChatGPT, we have automation platforms, and we also have something which is important, knowing how to get data to make smarter solutions. So getting to understand how to build a business in a tech-driven world, the first thing that's going to be important is to be more efficient in service delivery for your clients. And this is going to need for you to be in a position you can predict their behavior. So the first thing, when I talk about the touch points, there's going to be a bigger need for you to have that capability to interact with your customers so fast. So this is going to be across WhatsApp platforms, it's going to be on Facebook, be it on LinkedIn. You need to have that capability first to respond to your audiences, to understand their needs, and also because we understand that engagement alone is not enough. Knowing what the customer is going to look for next is important. So there's going to be a need for you to be in a capacity to make smarter decisions based on how they interact with you every single time. And now with technology, we have access to these platforms. So we have the social media sites that have analytics platforms. On the other side, we have like Google, which has analytics tools. So for you to track down how these audiences are interacting with your business, you're going to use data from these platforms to make smarter decisions. So this is going to make you have that capacity to retain your existing customers and expand the market base for your product. But that's not just enough, because we have employees that are going to be driving innovation, sustainability, and business growth in your area of study. So there's going to be a big need for capacity building so that the team can also be efficient, they can be more credible, and they can help you to build a long-lasting business that customers want to interact with, stays on top of the market, and increases the business income across the diverse options that are going to happen in the industry.
Absolutely. Maybe from the interactions you've had in 2025, what would you say are the parts that already the existing entities or operations that are there, they've managed to employ, and possibly if you are staring at 2026, there's a possibility of them scaling and even exploding to maybe the next big thing in terms of incorporating tech in operations, and some of those that you've managed to observe, maybe what part of tech have they incorporated a lot in terms of, even you've mentioned you have to establish communication channels, and that includes AI, and also now the WhatsApps and the Facebooks and the rest. And I love the fact that all of them have AI tools, you know. So for those that are already in operation in 2026 that you've observed in your forte, what is the part that they've managed to infuse that's making them afloat?
The big thing that is that we can see at the moment, I want to speak about automation. So automation, number one, is going to help us to increase the level of interaction and the relationship that we have with our audiences. So you find that we are integrating it in customer service aspects. That's number one. Number two, we are going to leverage automation again in interaction with our audiences. So this be beyond just customer service, getting to integrate chatbots that we can use, and also in other areas for service delivered, like allow me to talk about the digital payment platforms, so that customers can be that aspect to have access to a digital lifestyle aspect, which we can see so fast because they need a faster service delivery. Another big thing that we need to talk about at the moment, and based on my observations within the last, I would say the last 6 months, where even big brands are going big on AI, has been an aspect of experiential aspect of marketing, because now we live, I've just talked about a digital first customers who are more informed, they make their decision faster, and they want to personalize the experiences. So each business at the moment, beyond just using AI to interact with their audiences or to deliver service, you find that we are going now to use AI to gather information or data about the customer interactions with our organizations. So so that's the data we collect from the tools, automated tools. So we're going to use them to understand how these people think and what influences them to make decisions. And then that is going to help us to make more creative and informed marketing decisions, so that we can deliver experiential marketing that I was talking about. So in the aspect of creative marketing, so graphic design, the way you are going to tailor them, because you find that the way you speak with your audiences is what's going to make help you to break through across different industries, and the way you also package the videos that you are going to use, because now we can see AI. We can use like Gemini tools to come up with great AI content, but who personalizes them for those audiences? So you find that that's going to help us to streamline the operations in various areas. But alongside, we have to look on the aspect of cost and trust, which is very important. We can't leave it behind, meaning that now the various organizations are investing big to have their teams well trained in various AI aspects. So that could be on finance. Allow me to talk about finance, because you need financial experts who can track down the major decisions that our customers and their suppliers are focusing on before they bank on the organizations, which is important. The marketing teams, they have to be now trained to be in a position to leverage AI tools for decision making, understanding the audiences, and also to help in product innovation and development. And now also we have the creative industries and other opportunities that are coming here over there, like digital security and cyber security, that are going to be looked at. So with AI and 2026, it's going to be a bigger playing field, which everyone, no matter the size of the organization, can adopt. But by looking at automation, creative thinking and automation, these are going to help organizations to be on the next level when they have that capacity to understand their audiences better and deliver that experiences that they expect.
Maybe what would you say has been the most game-changing part in terms of customer care experience, maybe with some of the brands you've managed to work with? Of the area you're telling me about Bolt, I know Bolt is massively used anyways. You also spoke about Jumbo Jet, which I feel like is incredible as well to bring it into aspect. Maybe what would you say has been the most striking in terms of employing tech?
That is, I would echo on predictive analytics, which I've seen being deployed by various brands. Let's talk about the transport industry, where you can see, like personally, I've seen Bolt. Now we can see it in transport industry, and also for the advertising agencies like us, Strive Creatives and others, which are managing big brands. So now at the moment, with that capacity, where now I use a single app to book for my assume I'm using Glovo to make my orders for specific foods, that now Glovo knows that this is the kind of food that I always order during a specific hours. There is some timelines within which, if I'm using Bolt, I always move to these kind of locations. And if now when we come to agency level support on what we do, again, there are various businesses. Allow me use an example of real estate. So we have that capability to use artificial an aspect of artificial intelligence in location intelligence to track down various customer demographics on how they move to those businesses, what influences their decisions, where we track now their digital journey. And now we come with billboards based on the data that we have generated to help to deliver strategic campaigns that meet the expectations of the audiences.
And I think that's an incredible part as we continue to have this conversation. Please ensure that you find us on the hashtag, which is Y in the morning. we're actually talking about predictive analysis, which I feel like is very interesting.
Analytics, yeah.
Now that, some of these tech tools that are available, some of them are premium though, but you also realize there's businesses that are, I'd say, are going to the next level of having, you spoke of customized bots, and I think Safaricom has been very prominent in doing that with their Zuri. I'm like, who is Zuri?
Reducing costs that they could have had in the business, having over 200 of customer service personnel to handle the customer inquiries. So that one has helped them to respond to customers with speed, and also they have tailor-made, because whenever you come to interact with Zuri, the chatbot on WhatsApp, it gives you different options for you to select from before you get to ask it the next question. So you find that the way it responds to you, feel that you feel special when you're interacting with that organization. So you find that your need is being acted on fast, you get satisfied, and whenever you need again support from them, you can always reach them so fast, which feels very great. If you compare it with a business that doesn't have an effective customer service that is easy to access. So we need not to just look at Safaricom Zuri. These are tools that now AI has given us a capability to integrate even in our small.
Even in our own social media platforms, Facebook already has, I don't know what, Meta AI, WhatsApp has Llama. All these digital tools are available for free. And I'm also looking at the people in the villages. But anyways, as we actually move on to the next point, maybe what would you say is in terms of ensuring that a clientele base has been established with a digital tool that could possibly maybe be the next game changer in terms of ensuring that there's a repeat customer care experience, especially for businesses that are looking forward to maybe establish like a clientele like Safaricom. That's a big franchise anyways,
the fastest way to win a customer is always to know how they think per time. And therefore, knowing how to predict the customer behavior is something that's going to be very important. So for you to understand how this customer are thinking, meaning that the first thing that you're going to rely on as an organization is data analytics, which you are talking about, understanding that your digital frameworks are well established, so that in every touch point you have that capacity to know how your sales are performing, customer inquiries, and what area, so that you address them in generally before even they come back. So for you, you'll be on another level. So by looking into data analytics and assisting you in making sure that you make informed decisions. So now we are coming to talk about the tools that are handling these issues that are arising. Assume you have seen that customers, there's one product that is selling so fast in your business, or there's another one that is not selling so fast. You can now craft campaigns using AI tools, or based on the team that you have that are well experts in their area, to deliver a campaign that now helps to communicate with the audiences. Meaning now you are going to use a tool like social media, or if you have the budget, you can use the above the line platforms like TV, you can use the radio, you can go to influencers who have specific audiences, because remember, you've been using data to know how these people think. If you are lucky enough now, because we are talking about technology, then you are a brand like Jumia, or you are a brand like Glovo, or you are a brand like even Bolt, now that is when you are now coming to deploy predictive analytics tools in this platform, so that they can deliver experiential aspect of marketing and customer service. I just want to use a scenario. When you talk about experiential marketing, it might sound so technical, but think about it. When you go to Jumia and you wanted to order maybe a tie like mine, and then after choosing the golden one, you find that now the other ones that are coming up are the suits that you want to wear with that tie. So based on the class or the category and the lifestyle of which the Jumia app has consistently been getting your data, they are now in a position to know that whenever you come to this platform, these are the things that you normally buy. So you wouldn't have to stress again to be looking on these services. So what is more important for us as professionals and business owners is to understand our audiences. Even before they understand us, we have to be quick and fast enough to adapt. And then we execute in the business. Don't just be quick and understand without executing, because you'll see that now when Jumia is executing, on the other side they have a competitor which is also in the market. Before Jumia executed, there was AliExpress which was executing it. So you need to understand how is the global workspace evolving with these tech skills and tech. Before even Uber or Uber thinks about integrating a specific tool, you find that now Bolt gives you that aspect where when you are in a particular location, it can predict where you are moving to next, unless you are moving to a new location. So that one, you find that when you save the customer time you save them energy, and you are in a position to save them costs using these tools, you are going to win in the market, definitely.
Yeah, and in terms of the back-end operations of already running franchises or establishments that are already in operation, maybe how can they be at a place where they're able to, let's say, because we've talked about analysis, behavior analysis, in terms of with the growing, let's say, gap in consumer trends, how can they place themselves in a way that they're able to maybe follow it up aptly up to the latter and stay afloat? Because like I've said, I think it's a utopia, dystopia. More LLMs are coming through, more digital tools, but then how many of these franchises are using them? And also maybe for a startup that is envisioning themselves to be, let's say, at a playing field like of Jumia, like you said, it means they have a lot of work to do so that they rise up to there. So in terms of, let's say, maybe shifting consumer trends, how can they place themselves suitably to a place that they can adapt?
That's a great question, and the first area I want to echo on is for you to understand the customer. It means that there is also a way in which you are engaging with them, so that they can express themselves to you and they can now interact with your business. So the first focus area, I would say, is having that aspect of building communities around your business. So that's one you can see where we are using digital platforms like social media, so that brands, you can see, allow me use an example of KCB. You can see that they have communities on X, they have communities on again, they have communities on Facebook. So when you have communities, you have that capability to be talking about some topics, trends in the industry, to just pop up issues. And then with no time, you see customers across the globe, they are raising some concerns in different areas. So that is going to help you understand what the market wants. So you just innovate in your product. If it's the issue with customer service, assume it's Safaricom, they know that they need Zuri. If it's the issue with the digital transactions, you see that they know where they need to act on. So that one gives you some basic data. But above all, before even as we talk about that area, because we find that the internet is coming currently a bigger, the internet and tech space is coming a bigger tech playing field. There's another area that's going to be very important that we have to look at now, having a capable team that can do sufficient and effective research in diverse areas of the business, because much as we find that most of the SMEs that are adopting these AI tools, they think just about marketing and content creation for social media, doing things like video or graphic design only, that's where they can use AI. I find that there's wider areas. So having a team that can think within your business ecosystem and the communities around it to address those solutions with tech tools, and then specify or segment those audiences differently and build products and digital tools for them. That one makes you to be an outstanding service provider in the industry.
And that means you'll hire people like you maybe who can advise or give word on direction on how to take on that, or maybe hire experts that are already practicing it, or now train your employees to actually do it. Is that maybe what's going to happen, or what's already happening with where you've been at?
Thank you for raising that up, because now there's going to be a need for great consultants who are good on systems, strategy, and innovation or product development, so that they can help you to streamline your operations, build the capacity of your team to be more efficient in their areas, and then they give you direction that's aligned with towards your vision. Actually, I was moving towards giving you an example of what Safaricom does. Now you can see Safaricom Business. You can see they are talking about cyber security. You can see that they also in the ground, they are talking about data literacy and security again in this particular area. Again, when you go to the sharks back at home, they have someone like Awinja, who is driving the awareness campaign, meaning that they have different professionals, and then they have clearly subdivided their business into units so that they can efficiently run. So for business owners, I think the greatest skill that they need, even before they invest in their professionals, is going to be a need for them to work with consultants at this very moment, not just to use with the AI tools alone. So when you work with consultants, they help you to audit your systems, to streamline your business operations toward your strategic goal. And you know, sometimes you had a goal of just building a business, you have this vision that we always talk about, but the market doesn't need that at the moment. It needs you to serve the customer and to scale. So to scale, you're going to need consultants who are going to help you with ideation, product development, and meeting the market expectation. That's going to set you apart in the industry and the areas of operations.
Can that apply to a startup? Because what you're saying actually works well with Safaricom.
Yeah, sure. I want to talk about, allow me use Strive Creatives as an example. Over time, we have been training professionals in digital marketing, and then we introduced digital entrepreneurship, and now we have digital marketing, AI, and strategy. So when you are training about digital marketing, we had mostly digital marketing professionals showing up, and then you could see they come, they feel nice, they do what they do because they get the promotion in the area of the workspace. Now we have entrepreneurs also who want to be trained. So by understanding that the market is changing, there are professionals who want to leave the workplace so that they can build their own ventures. We have to now renovate our programs so that we have an aspect of digital entrepreneurship, like the product development, to meet their expectations. But that wasn't enough. We have now young youths that we are talking about this industry in the current scenario. So we had to move ahead from providing services and training on digital marketing, digital entrepreneurship, digital marketing and strategy, to move now to train people on digital marketing, AI, strategy, and digital entrepreneurship, so that they can work on themselves and service the industry. So now on a startup level, let me give with the local SMEs, assume the one that is in Gikomba or the one in Nairobi.
That's the best. Or somebody who is dropping stuff via WhatsApp. Sijui kama ushaona una click WhatsApp ya msee unaona anauza mashati hapo hivyo. Click on the cup and it tells you it's 1,000 bob. How can they also be a part of such an amazing one?
So I think the first thing is automation, using the simple automation tool. That's like you have talked about WhatsApp. You have your WhatsApp catalog, well done. And then there are tools that now you can use, AI tools, like, allow me give an example of one called SendPulse. So because you have these customers, assume it's men, you know men buy in end month, you can integrate your WhatsApp, you have a simple CRM by over SendPulse, so that you have the database of all the customers that you always have. So instead of using WhatsApp for broadcasting, the SendPulse enables you to categorize these audiences.
What is CRM?
Oh, CRM. So CRM, this is a customer relationship management tools. So it can help you based on your business level or what you're trying to meet in the market. So it can help you to categorize that on that aspect, number one. It can help you to also categorize data. So this can be, where do my customers come from? Which ad or campaigns am I running, and what are their results? What demographics mostly interact with my platforms? And also it gives you the capability to build some things called dashboards in different areas, sections of your business or departments. So across just or the level of your business, you're gonna know what CRM is gonna work for you.
It's like a DSLM, a domain-specific language model that works for your clientele.
Something like that. That's simple. But mostly it works on the internal side of the organization. Because you are the one who is gathering. It helps you just to streamline your operation internally while meeting the expectations of your market, and also assisting you on decision making. So just like we said, allow me use a simple one. You see, when you are running an ad campaign on Facebook, we have something called the lead forms that helps you to generate some data. Assume if an institution is running an ad, then there is a campaign that can be set to ask me questions like, what course am I enrolling for? How long do I want to train with them? What is my budget? Where do I see myself in 2028? So what I'm talking about, the CRM, these questions I'm asking these guys, when I'm asking these questions, they have a tool in the background. It can be a simple one, can be a spreadsheet that is embedded on a tool like ClickUp, which is a CRM tool also for project management. So after I have answered this question, the customer service on your end is going to get these responses. And then the tool on the other end is going to respond to me with these questions that I had asked. And then it's going to walk me on a journey while it's responding to these questions. So it's going to also qualify me as a lead or disqualifying me based on how I'm going to interact with it. So in the process,
that's some AI programming, vibe coding situation going down.
And you find that it's automated.
It's also a prompt as well.
It's automated. So once you just give your information, it's the tool that can work with you. So you find that these tools are always just tailored based on the business. It can be the business size, where they are, because budgeting matters. You don't need a big AI tool if your cost is low. Also, you have to consider your customer base, which is important. Also, you have to pay attention to the marketplace and just innovate, because you can be having customers who are just 1,000, But now when you come with the AI tool and you can segment them well,
You
understand how
invert
to
it.
communicate with them, streamline the communications,
Yeah.
you know when to do
Now
email marketing.
you establish a customized, customer experience.
Yeah.
Personalized actually is the word now.
Yeah.
You're able to cater for them individually. But also I'm staring at, now that we are curating this digital ecosystem that's booming and it could explode into a silicon savannah, what is happening to those that are not adapting and moving with the flow? I don't know if it's moving with the flow or adapting with what's happening in the tech space. Are they going to be left behind, or they are going to experience customer erasure or fading off? What's going to happen to their businesses in terms of customer excellence as well?
They are going to be overtaken by the businesses that are adapting to AI.
Even if it's a startup that just started last year and you've been working for 5 years, what to tell me this startup is going to kick me out of the game?
I think just to be sincere, you're going to spend some cash and you're going to need to put in the work.
Yeah.
The reason being, for you to adapt, you have to put in the right tools and systems, and you have to understand your business model. Yeah. So by having clarity on how you engage with your customers, who your ideal target market is, which expertise do you need in your team, and how continuously are you willing to adapt to the marketplace. You have to look into those 4 areas. So a business that is not listening to its customers, number one, it means that your customers are going to feel a distance from your business. And whenever consumer is detached from their business, they look for another service provider.
Actually.
They look for an alternative. So that's what's going to happen first. When you're using even AI, you can be using it, but you are just using tool that customer is like, the information is not personalized. So they feel detached, right? So you're going to be losing some cash.
Relationship.
Yeah, there's no relationship. So you're going to be losing some cash. Even to a client who bought from you some 2 years ago, he spent a lot of cash, but now you don't care about him. Number two, an aspect of innovation, because we say that customers are now, they are digital first, they are informed, and now they want to buy from people whom they trust. So personalizing the experiences is going to be important, because now customers, you find that consumers, as compared to before, you see that the spending capacity of Kenyans has increased tremendously compared to the other years, meaning that we now buy, we want more luxurious.
More buying, more enjoyment, more fun.
Yeah, we want more enjoyment, we want more fun, we want more entertainment. So that's why you can see even more events that are coming.
And with Safaricom, they've done that a lot with their messages. They're even telling you it's your birthday. They're even calling you dear when you have an ex and just broken up. I can imagine the level of marketing that these guys have tapped into, So
that's what's happening whenever you are not listening to your audiences. You don't care about their feelings. They feel detached from the organization. They take
so there's
money.
A sense of emotions as well in your marketing strategy. Capturing and captivating emotions.
And so also gaze about you, who is the business owner, or your employees who does not understand how these tools work. I think it's going to be so sad, because if it's your employees and by any chance they upskill so fast, they are going to demand for higher salary. Because they have, their income has to meet the market level and rates for that particular scenario. And by any chance, if you can't pay them well, they are going to quit, meaning that your business is going to stagnate. And what sustains the business is sales, often, meaning that you have to be good in marketing that you're doing in your business. So if you can't tell me why I need to buy from you and use AI tools to understand why actually I needed to buy, it means that you are going to be losing customers, or you will be in a position not to expand to the market. And where you are not expanding in the marketplace, it means that you are going to be losing some cash, because your operation costs are going to be, they are going to be higher every time you are looking for a customer, to who someone on the other side is personalizing the experiences for them. So meaning that your operation costs are going to be higher, while the income stream is going to be reducing a level, and you find that you are going to be cut out of business.
Does that touch on branding as well? Because I've seen Coca-Cola, Adi, they have Brian, a Coke for Brian, they have a Coke for Caro. They even come to a place where they're now even using Kenyan names, on some of the products, and you look at it and you wonder, this is an international, brand based in wherever it is, but look here, it is making products that are specifically targeting even people in Ushago. You can imagine having Shosho's name on a Coke, makes them feel good.
And whenever you buy, like now, if I could have come here with a Coke for Brian, Brian will go and tell colleagues, you see, I was bought for a Coke for Brian. So the next colleagues also, everyone is going to look for a Coke for itself. So it builds a bond. Or think about when you buy it for your girlfriend. You give maybe Nancy, you give a Coke with her name, and she's like, oh, this guy likes me. So you find that the other friends that she has in their business, they're like, oh, we also need a Coke with our name. So it builds that.
And I express awareness of the brand and the business. Kumbe inakwanga hii brand and so and so.
And
so
the feeling.
People are flocking there.
And the feeling.
Yeah.
They're gonna steal your customer because I won't need Pepsi if I can I can find myself branded on these. And you find that I don't want to just buy one now. I'm going to be looking for other Moses, which are on other drinks. Right. So that one increases the sales in the business.
You see, there's a diversion there. It's like there's traction going to even to the digital platforms as well. Yeah. And I find it to be really interesting. So maybe for 2026, if there's anyone who's already done what we have talked about and they are looking forward to pivot, maybe what is the next course of direction that they could take? They're already using these AI tools. They've given their customer personalized experience. There's interactive channels or lines of communication. What course of direction are they going to take next? Because if the market trends keep on shifting, then it also means it's unpredictable, yeah? And also the creators of these tools are not sleeping. Something right now is being developed that could turn the world upside down. Yeah. So that means it's not like a stable market that you can say, once I hack this, nobody else is going to come and compete with me. It means like you have to keep on observing, keep on taking notes, keep on innovating, and keep on scaling. And that's costly still. Yeah. So what are they going to do now?
I think the most important, because across the areas we have talked about this automation aspect of marketing, understanding your audiences, but what is going to stick is delivering personalized experiences across the different aspects of your business. Yeah. So if it's the customer service that you have integrated the chatbots, make sure that they are more efficient in those aspects, and also the communication is consistent in how they interact with their audiences. That's going to be very important to build that great customer relationship. Yeah. On the other end, again, on marketing, which we can't ignore, the customer base is something that you need to be focused on expanding. So as you get that data about your industry, about your consumers, and also you get to see what is evolving in the workplace, don't just sit back to wait for the next gold mine to come. Make sure that you are investing big in your marketing so that you can increase the visibility of your brand.
Does that touch on content? Because I remember early today in the morning with my co-host James, we were talking about so yesterday IEBC, there's a way IEBC, there's somebody who had sentiments to say about IEBC na wakasema amwezi tu kwa TikTok na mko na 1,000 followers. Yes, mko huko, lakini can you put some razzmatazz in your content so that it could be attractive? But people are like, Stuko, TikTok, jamani, what else do you want, Gen Zs? And then the lady said, Apana, your content is rigid a little bit. Make it more appealing and more interactive and, just striking. So for an already established business that's already using all these tools, in terms of the content that they put out there, now with the AI, what are they going to infuse so that it continues speaking to the consumer or the customer? Because it looks like it's a utopia now. It's perfect with automations, with systems, but again, you're infusing more other flavors to continue making it bigger.
Yeah, that's a great question. And also think about KBC. For how many years has KBC been in operations? Yeah. And mostly it used to feel neglected until then they decided to add in a team of community managers in their social media, and people come day to day to interact with their platform. So as I talked about data, yes, you can be good in streamlining these operations area, engaging with these audiences. And like for the scenario of KBC, before you cut me short, I wanted to talk about, sorry, not KBC, but IEBC. I wanted to talk about business leadership and communication.
Please shine the light on it.
I wanted to talk about business leadership.
Does IEBC need to revitalize
business leadership and communication? So in every industry, every business every customer or consumer wants to buy from someone who they trust so much. Yeah. Whereby when I move beyond this, I want to say, I was trained by Moses. I was served by Winnie. I talked with Brian. Because this person is an established leader. So what's going to set businesses apart is that in their industries, areas of operations, and any area that they are working on or on their goal, they have to make sure that they are visible, they are authentic, they are transparent in their operations, and they handle customers as the heart of the business to build that relationship. That one is going to build trust.
Yeah.
And now another aspect that's going to be important is now on conversion, like what we were talking about, IBC issue, whereby you have to know, how do I need to talk to these people so that they can convert to go and even take a vote in Gen Zs, right?
Yeah.
So
you know, amesema tuweke up to vote here.
yeah, so you need to know, to have professional, we're talking about consultants, what are going to help you, like how do you come up with conversation, or you come up with an influencer, you create content that is going to meet the it's going to be interesting to these audiences, and in as much as it's interesting, there is that conversion. So you see that Eric Omondi, IBC is doing their thing. So I want you to compare IBC posting per day 1 time in a day, and Eric Omondi goes another side to tell vijana leo tuendeni tuchukue kura, who is going to have high number. So we find that IBC has a higher level of thought leadership and governance backup, but they lose touch of the ground because they don't speak language of the people. So you have to relate with this audience. You have to be someone who people can access, they can tap into your ideas, and they feel you are present to build that trust. And then conversion. So you are consistent in the operation of the thing that you do. And then they see, oh, Eric Omondi now is saying that we are going to do this. So they are going to show up.
Right.
And they are going to also tell others,
so that thing senseless.
Yeah. So that thing is something that even IBC can achieve it, but it needs collaboration, where you don't say that we are now in an era where even businesses have to collaborate.
Yes,
you can't always innovate alone.
Not always innovate and compete.
So you find that like media platforms, you always have your summits, you share ideas, you invite various
industries. There's a Kenya Digital Content Creators Association, and it's owned by government.
You see?
Just to let you know. So they can get influences from there.
Yeah.
And razzmatazz it.
And I hope they are watching this, because that's going to be a game changer to help push the Gen Zs who are seeing no reason for them to vote.
Yes,
with
and
the current
to register
system.
as voters.
And they are the guys who can even push for content on why it's important for you to vote for the leaders.
Yeah, that you want in office.
Yeah, actually. So it's just the businesses to take. Actually, the basic of digital systems and the heart of tech trends is taking action.
Yeah.
And most important is for you to have a strategic direction that's aligned towards your vision.
Yes.
Because again, when you move with speed but you lack direction, you find that you're going to waste a lot of resources.
Yeah.
You're going to lose the interaction with your customers. Assume you start just to use AI to post content, even if it's 20 per day. So your customers are going to get confused.
Yeah.
So that's what's now calling for you to have, invest first in your professionals and the team that you have to make sure they are so good, or hire consultants so that they can help you to streamline your business operations, have touch with the ground. But you find that some tech organizations don't have much interaction with the audiences in the ground. So they can just help you to streamline your operations to be more efficient and to help you to understand how you serve the markets that you serve. That's what makes you relevant.
Right, absolutely. And I want us maybe to talk about data as well. But before we finish, and AI, data and AI, there's an interesting aspect as well. There's somebody who has said, how can a brand attract opportunities in a way that you manage to build yourself quality content that, say, continues to penetrate and cuts through social media? Because there's a way, when you look at YouTube, videos that are shared on YouTube, somebody, maybe they had a summit last year, but you find that summit is still relevant to maybe a product that's being launched today, or an event that's still, happening today, or it will happen tomorrow. The same conversation still cuts through all along. So maybe how can businesses penetrate through that cloud and still have clarity while they still stay afloat?
That's a great question. However, I just want to talk about relevance and authenticity. When you come to digital platforms, there are various practices that digital marketing professionals do in the background, like something called, allow me to talk about search engine optimization, which is a part of content marketing. So you find that you can create a content today that's going to be used even after, Google is going to find relevant even after 10 years. Or even it's a document that was done by Tuco, it's going to be relevant after 10 years. And even if you come to, whenever we looked at history, I just want to make it more so that we can understand it.
Yeah, for sure.
You find that there is a cause that one leader fought for, that even after 10 years, people be like, oh, I wish this person was alive. and it's today, or you find that there's a cause that a leader fought for in a particular area, and people are like, if you not him, you could not have achieved this or enjoyed this. So in every industry, the first thing that you need to understand is whenever you have that capacity to understand what the market needs or the marketplace, now position yourself as an authority, and then share relevant content for that specific industry or the niche audiences. So every time they need a point of reference, they come for that information as a backup. It's not just going now to be your information for them to use it all.
It's now like a public record.
So it's going to be a public record. It's going to be a place of reference, and they are going to be using your content over time. And then I believe that sometimes visibility builds authority to some extent. So now know how to use these digital platforms to amplify and push for your messages and content. And if you want to know that about that aspect of scenario, is we used to see last year when we are seeing the Gen Z demonstrations. So no one could have known, if you were still in the 1969s, no one could have known about the changes in the constitution. But now a Gen Z comes online and he has published the whole constitution and the changes. And then they go
interpreted it to all languages.
They interpret it to all language, and then they go on X, they are pushing it out there. So even the world is like, oh, these are the things that they are fighting for. So you find that digital...
People in the USA are still knowing about Angukanai.
Angukanai.
Like, what is Angukanai? It's a slogan for activism in Kenya.
So I'm not much into activism, but I think it's just an aspect where they are opposed to specific aspects or ideas that our leaders always bring on board to try to incorporate. So that is what happens when you lack engagement with the audiences, because if you have that capability to go on ground, to touch base, understand what the audiences are coming through, that's what's going to make you, even if you are in the legislation or decision-making level of the organization, to know, am I making a decision for premium clients? Am I making a decision for middle-class individuals? Am I making a decision making for people who are in the reserves? So even as government, you need to understand, how do I, you are talking about data, how do I use now data from these areas to come up with rules that are good for this kind of
policies, frameworks that work for people in Kakamega.
How am I going to monitor if this is working? So even before you come up with a new policy and a framework, have you ever tested it before? So now we have AI, and we just saw a particular launching which was done last year. I'm not quite sure if it has started to be affected. We now need to use AI to gather data, not just as tools of building this system that we are always talking about. We can use it as a data or a mechanism to improve on different areas we have always worked on. If it's intelligence, we gather a lot of information from Huduma. What are customers seeing? How is the load time whenever they come to interact with eCitizen? What aspects or what services do people consume more on eCitizen?
Maybe what are the unanswered questions that they've always had that we wish the website would have to give it to them? Or even if they can localize it still and put it in different, because we are more than 47 tribes, I believe, right now at this point. So that would be very interactive. Now, so speaking of AI and data, because this has been a very, I'd say, dicey conversation as well. Still, I know we have the office of the ODP and many others as well that are coming through. So in terms of ensuring that the back-end operations are not being, let's say, penetrated, because I think it's a couple of months ago we saw government websites being hacked. That could happen to anyone, literally. It could be a business, a country, and whatnot here. So in terms of us securing our cybersecurity space, maybe let me ask this first before we even talk about AI and data. What has been the most striking AI influence on businesses in 2025 that caught your attention, and you're like, wow, this one we need to shine the light on it? Then we can talk about AI and data and our security cyberspace and how it's driving our digital ecosystem for businesses.
I think the most talked about area in the AI ecosystem, I would say, is AI in marketing. Where people have been using AI to come up with, initially it was just using AI to create content, the ones that brands post on LinkedIn, social media, and the other platforms that they are in. That's what they were using it much for. But now it has advanced at the moment where we can see the tools that have come up like Gemini and Cloud, which has given us that capability to think beyond the ordinary and to create different, even up to video content. So what is currently more interesting, especially if you go to TikTok, has been an aspect of using AI for monetization.
Yeah.
So from the influencers or various individuals who are learning about AI tools, so now
Yes.
you can once you master a specific tool that can create up different systems for you,
Yeah.
they are now doing something called monetization.
Yeah.
And in monetization, we're talking about the audiences. So this is where now I want to talk about content monetization, especially with focus on Instagram and TikTok. They
What
come.
about Facebook? Because I think hapo ndio watu pia wakipata mula hapo haraka haraka.
They also there is
Meta.
there, but Facebook there is a way you have to be present compared to these other platforms.
Right.
So once you step into a particular niche, especially on TikTok and Instagram, the reason I'm talking on TikTok because the content go viral so fast.
Yes,
so it
for
gives
sure.
you
Yeah.
a higher viewership.
And it's short form.
And it's short form content.
Yeah.
And when you go to Instagram, it also helps you to deliver that. So let me talk about scenario of how it's done.
Yes,
If
sure.
you go to some pages like on TikTok, you'll always see they always share some music with some
Yeah.
just background. And then
Yeah.
you'll find yourself, oh, you are always listening to this music. That's number
Yeah.
one. Or it can be the motivational quotes.
Right.
We have seen that.
Yeah.
And also there have been these animated videos
Right.
which are a page it's just fully of automation and it has million views, right?
Yeah.
Or we have seen these people who come with the animated cartoons, like the
Yes.
ones I've seen some
Like
for,
scenes from movies.
yeah,
You find all those famous
Yeah.
classics. The page is fully dedicated for that.
and that's what they share, and they always have higher viewership. So you find
Yeah.
that TikTok, Instagram, or the platform that they are in pays them, and they make money from it. And you
Yeah.
don't need a degree for that. So what they use is just Gemini and other tools so that they
The
can
clouds
and
and
the
the
cloud
rest.
so that they can be building these content every single day, and
Yeah.
they schedule.
Yeah.
So on AI, I think it has moved. The first thing that people talked so much about was AI in marketing. But
Yeah.
now, as the businesses advance at the moment, you find that there have been issues that have also come up, like AI in marketing. It can't sustain the business alone. There are other areas that we have to talk about. So that are digital systems, cyber security, data privacy, and also understanding the consumer behavior.
Yeah.
So at each level or a touch point of a professional, you just need to know, where am I today? What am I trying to achieve? Do I want to make fast money? Then I can make up digital products with
Yeah.
AI, and then I sell. And then I share motivational quotes on my platform. So when people come, they need coaching. They're like,
Right.
oh, can you coach me on this area? So I find that the AI I can build again on the background as a digital entrepreneur. I can build up some AI CRMs we were talking about to guide this customer. And then I can come up with brochures as a consultant to help them get the information that they are looking for with AI. So I think it's just about understanding which area am I as a business owner,
Yeah.
who do I want to serve, and what is the market willing to give to invest in or give money for faster that I think I can serve. So there's much that happens in the area. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of that, maybe has the blockchain space as well had a very good hold on in terms of the payment systems? Because I remember interviewing a guest, could have been maybe in July or August. He's a professional in crypto and the blockchain space, and he's saying, in fact, there's a place where the government, and I think Raila Odinga as well, talked about the blockchain space. There's a way. I'll find the article, but yeah, he was part of a project, I believe, or initiated, where the government can get to tap into the blockchain space and also facilitate. But also, there's companies that are now facilitating payments via the blockchain space, which is part of this conversation and AI. Yeah, so maybe would you say that one as well is one of the avenues that need to be explored for businesses that are still adapting to the tech trends as we step into 2026?
Yeah, and particularly most of the organizations that are benefiting from AI, I would say they are the ones that are in the blockchain and fintech space. Even if you look at just recently, we had an organization called Honeycoin that managed to raise over 490 million US dollars. And they said,
Honeycoin. Is it owned by this guy, Leonard someone?
I don't.
Leonard somebody with dreadlocks, yeah.
It's
I
just
tried to get hold of him, Kujapa Y254.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned
so
it, I can
you
really
find that
recall.
digital payments, it's something that Nigeria has highly innovated on that aspect compared even to the Kenyan, because we were talking about this area where you want to sell a product and you want to make sure that these operations are streamlined so fast without having to send details for payments and blah blah blah, having back and forth while you are busy in the background. And also there's this been issue of how do I call it, climate change and actions, where we have seen the projects you are talking about. I believe some areas also I saw in Nakuru, which the government was trying to explore. It used to be like a barrack some times back. So the conversation, I'm not much into blockchain, but I've seen some advancements happening on that space, and bringing in partnerships even from the motorsport spaces, football teams and communities, and mostly the fintech guys. And also now we have these guys who advocate for the SDGs in various areas. So it's just about understanding, is my business aligned to this? Because you know,
your business modus operandi.
Yeah, you can't just go in an area because you want to tap into it if it doesn't align with your business goal. So that's something that I believe.
Absolutely. Now back to the AI and data. Well, I feel like that's an avenue that we can't even finish in 2025 or even talk about a quarter of it. So I want you to just shine the light on it as we close the conversation, because it's already longer. What is happening to cyberspace in terms of, first of all, let's talk about the back end, because all of these tools we are using, AI tools, all they're extracting from consumers and also even from the organization is data. And I also hold a strong opinion that the business of data is going to be the most lucrative business as we end the year, step into the next years to come, because data is a currency, you know. So what's happening to in terms of us building a stable, say, cyber secure space that's not easily manipulated or can be infiltrated? Because the other day we saw government services websites, including State House. I don't know if can we say they were infiltrated or they were hacked. Did that test our digital, our cyber resilience, our cyber security resilience and muscle in terms of us establishing secure cyberspace systems that are immune to infiltration from outside attackers?
Oh, that's a great question. And it's not just about the government systems. I believe we have also had conversations in the back or during election times where people always raise concerns around IB servers.
Form 34B.
You see? So when you talk about cyber security, again, I want to talk about a lot which maybe many people have not paid attention to. Even Meta raised a concern around it, that you need to have to enhance your data, to make sure that you are signed up for their data privacy policy, so that they can't access your messages on WhatsApp and on Facebook. Because
should that apply to companies, businesses, or even individuals?
As long as you are in social media, and you have Meta AI enabled, you have to make sure that you come and click on the Meta AI, so that you make sure that you don't grant it access to read your messages, conversations. It can't
passwords,
scan and passwords and everything. And it gave people an ultimatum that you need to do it by December 16th.
How many people are even privy to this? How many people here know about this?
Very few. So the first thing that we need to make sure that we consistently seek new information, do research to know what's happening in the industry, so that we secure ourselves from the data manipulators or information that can be used against us. AI talks about artificial, meaning it's built by humans, and the intelligence capacity happens when they gather data from different sources or people who have a kind of innovation or ideas, and then they build something that now transcends their thinking. And then when you will be looking for solutions, it's just the ideas of 100 people which has been put together to give you this a kind of framework, so that you find that when they put all these information together, that's why they have different packages on the tools that they have, that this is premium, this is pro, this is pro, this is this level, because there's an intelligent capacity that was used to build that tool up to that level.
And so it's human intelligence anyways.
So the first thing is we just need to have the capacity to be data literate, to know how to secure ourselves as consumers on the data that we are giving out, the access that these tools to have with us. That's when you come to agency level, and where we build systems for various business models. You find that a lot of agencies, we build in-house tools, which we have the capacity to control, to monitor, and to manage them effectively without infringing with or going against the data privacy rules on the other end. And also they can't be accessed by other tools which will interfere with our in-house information, so that we make our own intelligent decisions, and we can innovate, we can know what's working, and we can even collaborate. So that's something that's important. One is data literacy and privacy awareness, which is very important. As a business that's operating in various diverse spaces, especially where you collect data from your consumers, we have seen various brands from schools, clubs, and even some that do events getting fines for just posting images without consent.
Especially kwa clubs. Watu walienda pale kuget lit, amejikuta Insta story, one of the latest club in town.
And courts have awarded almost over 120 million within the last few years. So first, you need to make sure that there is data awareness. When people come to your organization, they are aware and privy of what
Tell
action.
them this area is photography prohibited, or here's where you take photos.
Or they wear specific bands for those who can be taking their photos. Because even you as a business owner, you can't just take my picture and post.
Right.
It because I work, I'm your employee. Yes. There must be a consent.
Or I bought a product,
you want me to be posting because I'm working with you. I can sue you and you'll pay me a lot for the damages. So the first thing that we need to have is data privacy awareness, and then number two is to understand how to align ourselves with the Office of the Data Privacy Rules and Regulations. So whereby you have the right licenses that you need to have as an organization, especially when you collect data. And I see one of the organizations that does it well. I think it's Ajira Digital and KEPSA, because they handle a lot of information for SMEs, business owners, professionals, and young guys, and they do a lot of surveys in the industry so that they can continuously assist the government innovation. So the first thing that they do is they make you calls, they send you emails, they get your consent if you'd allow them to be sending you information and updating your area.
I think I love that kind of communication.
So
even Safaricom does that.
Yeah, to some extent. As Safaricom, as long as you become their customer, just be ready for the messages, unfortunately. So to some extent, I think that's something that's very important. So you find that when you are gathering this data, we are now talking about data intelligence now. You need to know how to segment your audiences so that you serve them in various areas. And I think that's now where AI comes in to innovate, understand now if this is how Moses responds to us, what aspect of our product can we leverage, or communication can we be using in communicating with them, or what product can we be pushing to them. At some extent, Moses just wants to be a low-key guy, and there's a way you asked me information and then I shared with you. But now you can know that, oh, this is how I need to be talking to this gentleman so that they can become our customers. This is how freely or conveniently we need to be engaging with some audiences. And if you are managing a product, because we are talking about AI and data in this area, you know, data is not just about information we collect. This information, mostly you need to know how to use information. Currently data is oil, so you need to know how to use data to innovate in business, to make informed decisions, to serve your clients right, and to improve, be more efficient, and to deliver better services to your
So meaning you have to have an established system that develops the data, collects it, protects it. So I'm also questioning, what are the ethos or the ethics that the people handling this data adhering to? Basing off of even on this conversation recently when the president was in the United States and they signed that 850 million healthcare framework, what curated backlash was, you're selling our data to, you know, this other big pharma to, you know, do whatever. And I believe, actually, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I believe in data renting. I believe there's going to be the next big frontier in data. Like, somebody could enter your system, manipulate or bribe, and, you know, get your data, go do an experiment and return it. I also tend to think that's what happens when a system is hacked and people are logged out. Data renting is going to be one of those. But also, maybe what are some of the ethos that these back-end operators need to be equipped with so that they don't also see things that you're not supposed to see, especially when it comes to Apple Health records, finance records. There's a dude who did a video on TikTok of how he accidentally peeped on the back end of the company and saw the salaries that people were earning. And when he saw his, he quit that day. So I can only imagine now the people that are handling all these records, personal, private information, documentation, and boom, you're not data trained. You don't have the ethics, you're not a professional. You know, you're not certified. Yeah. How do you deal with that as you close 2026, as you close 2025, so to say?
Great. So I think there are various aspects that I just want to touch on. And this is transparency, integrity, and security.
Yeah.
You know, whenever we are talking about data, we think about us having, like when you look at the government, they feel like they have more power or control over the individuals who are the owners of this data. So first, whenever you are collecting information from the audiences, you have to make them aware how you are going to use this data over time. For what purposes are you going to use this data over time? So whenever they are giving you consent, because once they are aware is when they are giving you consent. When I came here I take a photo of you, I'm going to tell you, like, okay, you'll see it on Instagram, right? So you are aware Moses is going to do this. But if I could have just taken a photo with you, you are not aware, then you see it on Instagram, you're like, Moses, I could have even taken a better pose. So first, consent enhances that aspect where people feel confident when you are serving them and they trust you with the information, which is very important. They know all the aspects on how you are going to use the information. So that one helps to build trust. When I talk about integrity, the guys and the teams that are handling information in the back end, it's not just about the government only. When you come to like marketing agencies or institutions that do training.
Even employers, they are collecting data, bro.
Yeah, and even we have seen issues. We are talking about integrity. We have seen issue where a lady was given some bonuses, and there was an institution that was charged because an institution revealed information that was was unethical or was against her actions in that workplace, and this led to her termination. So integrity, apart from being transparent whenever you're giving information on the parties involved, you have to be someone of integrity, whereby people know that you are going to be handling this information with utmost trust, faith, and you are going to protect it. And then we are talking about security. There is going to be a higher need of data security experts and individuals who understand how to segment this information, so that even, yes, you have this information of different parties, but on conversations or how you push information to them, are you sharing the relevant information? You see, you have to protect the information, and they have to share only what is relevant. So that's number one. The people who are handling this information, are they sharing what I consented for? You're right, that's number one. Number two is aspect of access to that information. We are talking about security. You have to ensure that you have experts who have the capacity to keep and store this data well, and make sure that they protect it against any aspects of cyber attack.
Do they need to have certification from the ODP? Most organizations right now say step into 2026.
Whenever you are collecting any information from the publics, that's a priority. You need not to go to the market to be collecting information from the individuals if you do not have that certification.
So you think it's going to be mandatory as time goes by?
It's going
I don't
to be.
think not every operation has it. I know KBC has it because it's government.
So most institutions, they don't know about it, unfortunately, but they really need to have it. Because to some extent, customers might not come against you, but there's a day a government will be like, you have been collecting information about the consumers. We want to know how you handle your operations across different touch points. And they
even how much profit did you make? People forget there's need for the government to know that.
So the government is going to be auditing your organization, and when they find that there are these various loopholes, that one is what you're going to find that it's going to cost you so much as an organization.
I want us to close this conversation. Maybe what is your prediction for the tech space, and also let's say the models of operations for most businesses as we step into 2026 in terms of our digital ecosystem? Your predictions in terms of operation. I know we've talked about consumer behavior and changes and whatnot. What is your prediction? What are we staring at?
As I'm looking at 2026, I'm seeing a platform or an ecosystem where the tech space is going to reward brands that are delivering more personalized experiences. They are more known and consistent in their area of operations. So on the aspect of visibility, it's also going to be about efficiency, transparency, which is important, and delivering a digital first lifestyle for your audiences across different touch points that they interact with their operations. And that's what's going to make the best businesses that will emerge in 2026 to scale and to be great.
Period. I don't think we don't need to add another word or another statement. So maybe tell them where they can get to be a hold of you for the next remaining I think it's just 10 seconds, so that they can visit your profile and also get to consult you, because I know you offer consultancy as well. Please tell them.
Great. First, thank you for hosting me in today's session. You can find me on LinkedIn at Moses Were, written in caps. That's my name. On TikTok and Instagram, you can find me at MosesWere_digital. Sure, please. To ensure that you get hold of him. He has incredible insights, and this is just a quote of what he's able to share. Thank you so much, and we only wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, right? To you too, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you so
to be
much.
here.
All right, we have been talking about some of the things that you should look out for. If you're a person who is running a business, looking forward to, who's already starting, you're an organization, an entity, an SME, a startup, you definitely need to refer to this conversation as you continue to get through your day, and definitely ensure that you also leave us comment and feedback at the comment section. We'd definitely love to sample it as we continue with our program right here. We're going to do this. We're going to take a very short break, and then an interesting conversation is going to be lined up next. So stay with us on the hashtag, which is Y in the morning at Brand Circle 1 at Y254 channel. See you on the other side.